Hello my beautiful people. So as you can see, different layout yet again. I feel like there's been so many changes recently. The reason I'm doing things differently this week is because it needs to be relevant, right? I believe that we incarnate when and where we choose to incarnate, because we understand that that time, that moment in time, the people that we're born to, that we interact with, that we come into contact with, are going to provide the right conditions and impetus for us to take the journey that our soul truly wants and needs to take. If you were born at this time, and it's an unprecedented time for a lot of people, if you were born at this time, you will be, or you're here at this time, should I say, you're here for a reason to experience this in some way, shape or form. This means that your soul signed up for this. And in order to keep it relevant, I want to help people understand, what is it that your soul is trying to learn right now? A lot of people are being forced to take stock, to stand still. The old contracts, the old world, the old spiritual contracts, it's all breaking down in favor for something new that is coming through now, for a new way of being, a new way of understanding, a new sense of connection. New connections are about to be forged. New ways of doing everything are about to be forged. So, the fact that a lot of us are either sort of on lockdown or having to stay still, having to take a moment. I talked about this in my daily email, if you get it, if you're on my list. And what I talked about was this moment where so many people are being forced to stop, to put their feet on the ground and say, right, okay, what do I think about this? What do I really feel is the next step for me? Why is it that this is taking place? What is my soul trying to learn? And I kind of see this time, when a planet goes retrograde, it sort of takes its journey and then it slows down. And then as it slows down, it starts to come to a stop, and it stations, and then its energy is magnified. What happens under a retrograde, backward, looking back, going over, reassessing, reevaluating, redoing, lots of rewords, rediscovery, remembering, bringing things from the past back for examination to be looked at, re-examining things, right? All of these words are what happen when a planet retrogrades. Well, then it kind of stops and tracks backwards, so we go back over that energy, and then it stops and it stations again, and then it starts to move forward again, and it kind of picks up speed and goes on its merry way. Well, if you think about it, the human race at the moment is kind of being forced into its very own retrograde. So rather than seeking out there or looking out there, this is a time to go within. What is your soul trying to learn? What is it that you are releasing at this moment in time? And what is it that you are welcoming in as a result of all of this that's taking place on this sort of deeper level? If you haven't seen it, I did a series recently on the spring equinox for the different different elements of the zodiac. Check that out. It's on a playlist, and you can find that on the channel. Just hit the playlist button and you'll be able to find it. With that said, this is kind of a mini blurb to explain why the different format, what it kind of means, how it's going to shape up for you. I haven't stuck to the usual format because I don't feel like it's relevant at the moment. I feel like this is the stuff that is kind of more relevant for us, and will probably be more relevant for us over the course of the next week. So let me know, do you love it? Do you loathe it? And with that said, you are heading into your personal taroscope for the week ahead. Take care, love you much, and I'll see you soon. Hi Libra, welcome to your week ahead taroscope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit that subscribe button. If you are already a continued subby, you know I love you for it. With that said, before we start, as always, I would like to bless my deck of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity, and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. All right, so they're all jumping out at me. Okay. Yeah, different format. You've obviously seen the blurb, so that's what this is all about. And with that said, so what is your soul trying to learn at this time? You've got the King of Cups. Look at him. He's surrounded by beauty, surrounded by opulence, surrounded by all of the pleasures of life, all of the sensual and feeling pleasures of life. Now, the fact that this is what your soul is trying to learn at the moment, this is about finding pleasure in the mundane. This is about finding, bringing it down to the ground. So getting out of here and getting out into the world. This is the time for you to start to enjoy people's company, to enjoy the feelings that people incite within you, to enjoy food, wine, drinks. This isn't, don't just become a giant lush, sit on the couch and say, feed me grapes. That's my fantasy. This is what this is urging you to do, though, all jokes aside. It's asking you to learn how to really connect with what you feel and how to be present and enjoy the things that you have. Enjoy the food that you have. Enjoy the pleasurable company that you have. Find joy, meaning, love, perfection in the mundane. This is time for you to really think about connecting with what is in front of you, with what you have access to right now, and ultimately moving into a spirit of love and gratitude for what you have at this moment in time. In a big way, maybe this is about you learning humility. And I'm not saying that you don't have it already, because, Librans actually have a lot of humility. But this is asking you to have that humility for everything across the board and to really be present and understand that what you have right now is an actual gift. This is about how to be really present in life, but also the feeling that I get from that card as well is it's asking you to really take heed and pay attention to your personal tribe. This doesn't have to be your family. It just means your people, your tribe, your community. Take stock of how those people make you feel and what those connections really mean to you at this moment in time. This is a time for you to really learn about the connection that you have to the outside world and to your people within it. For what you're releasing, the Four of Cups seems to be a very emotional week for a lot of signs. Kind of makes sense. What you're releasing is the Four of Cups. What you're releasing at this moment in time, above all else, is this idea that, that what we have is the way that it's going to be. This is about releasing whatever fear, whatever anxiety you have. If you're in a funk at the moment, if things aren't moving the way that you would like them to, if you're being affected, if your job, your business, your life, your livelihood, your finances, all of it, if it's being affected by the current climate, this is asking you to move beyond that, because it's basically saying, and this isn't, because, this might seem like it's at odds with that, right? This is telling you to be present and to be grateful for what you have. And then the Four of Cups is saying, don't focus on what you don't have, right? And this is about, again, being present, but also understanding you can't see, not all of us. It doesn't matter how gifted you are. Nobody can see everything. Nobody can see round the proverbial corners. So this week you're being asked to release that, surrender that moment of being in a funk and saying, where is this going to go? And, being all heavy in the head and also being heavy in the heart, right? Ultimately, this is Cups. The number 4 is about finding stability. And the fact that you're releasing the Four of Cups means that you are letting go of rigidity. When it comes to the spiritual or the emotional, you need to find ways to let your emotions flow this week. So you are releasing emotional stagnancy. And then finally, what you're welcoming in is the Death card, right? So what you're welcoming in is the completion or the end of something. You're welcoming in transformation. Everything in life has to go through the life cycle. Everything that we experience, everything that we see out in the natural world. What do you think? We have 4 seasons: winter, spring, summer and fall, or autumn as we call it here in the UK. And what this is kind of reminding you is that everything comes to an end. And I kind of feel like the message actually here for you guys, hello Robin, little Robin's just perched himself up on the step there. What this is actually telling you is that in order for the renewal, the regeneration and the rebirth to come, you have to welcome in the process of letting things go, of things transforming, transitioning or changing. Things have to die in order for new things to be born. You know, something has to perish in order for something to be reborn. So this is what you're being reminded of at the moment. So, you know, it might seem like, oh, you know, I'm welcoming in death. Try not to think of it like that. Think of it more along the lines of you're welcoming in the chance for new growth and change. So your key to the week is the Temperance card. You've got to find ways to blend how you feel with what is. You've got to find ways to blend your emotional self with your spiritual self, and your spiritual self with your mundane self. Be present this week. Eat well. Take rest. Take comfort in the people that you love and know and care about. And ultimately move into a place of alignment of all of the things that you desire, and ask yourself, what is that actually now? What does it really look like to you going forward from here? With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. If you remember, there's a whole community there. Talk to people, reach out to people. Feel free to do so to me as well. Take care. I'll see you soon.